Every legend you've ever heard about, every warrior, every conqueror, every hero, they all started the same way. Weak, lost, ordinary. Don't let the highlight reels fool you. No one is born strong. Strength isn't something you inherit. It's something you earn. You earn it through pain, through humiliation, through failure after failure after failure. Every great warrior was once the person everyone ignored. Everyone doubted, everyone laughed at. And maybe that's where you are right now. Lost, tired, confused. You look at yourself and see someone small, someone ordinary, someone who doesn't have what it takes. But that's where every legend begins. Not in victory, but in weakness. Not in glory, but in silence. Because the truth is, the greatest transformations happen in the shadows. When no one's watching. When no one believes in you. When you have nothing left but your will to rise. Every warrior has a breaking point. That moment where the pain becomes too much. Where the voice in your head screams, "I can't do this anymore!" You've been there, haven't you? That moment when your heart is heavy, your body is tired, and your dreams feel miles away. You start asking yourself, why me? Why is it so hard? But the truth is, it's hard because you're being rebuilt. You're being reforged in the fire. Every tear, every scar, every failure, it's shaping you into something unstoppable. You don't become strong by winning. You become strong by failing and refusing to quit. You become powerful by standing up every single time life knocks you down. That's what separates warriors from the weak. Not talent, not luck, but refusal. Refusal to surrender. Refusal to break. Refusal to die as the same person you were yesterday. So, when life beats you down, when your body screams to stop, and your mind whispers, "It's over," you whisper back, "No, not yet," because you're still writing your story, and no one gets to decide how it ends except you. There comes a time when something inside you snaps, when the pain turns into fuel, when the anger becomes discipline, when the weakness that once held you down becomes the reason you rise. That's when you stop being afraid. That's when you stop caring about the world's opinions, because now you've seen what's inside you, and it's stronger than anything that can stand against you. You start moving differently. You start speaking with purpose. You start fighting like your life depends on it, because deep down, it does. You're not fighting for applause. You're not fighting for recognition. You're fighting for the person you're becoming. You're fighting for that moment. That final breath, where you can say, "I didn't live easy, but I lived worthy." You see, weakness isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. It's the mirror that shows you who you are and who you could become. Every time you break, you have two choices: stay broken or rebuild stronger. And that's what makes legends different. They rebuild. Again and again and again, until there's nothing left but iron. The path of the warrior isn't paved in gold. It's paved in blood, in sweat, in isolation. It's the path no one wants to walk, because it demands everything. You will lose people. You will lose comfort. You will lose the version of yourself that loved easy things. But what you gain is something the world can't take away. You gain resilience. You gain mastery. You gain peace in the chaos, because when you've fought for years, when you've faced your own darkness and survived, you realize nothing outside of you can break you anymore. You stop running from storms. You start walking through them. And when others crumble, you stand tall, not because you're fearless, but because you've learned that pain is temporary and purpose is forever. That's the evolution. That's how warriors are born. Not through power, but through persistence. There's a moment, a quiet one, where everything you've endured starts to make sense. The sleepless nights, the rejections, the loneliness, the countless times you almost gave up. It all starts to connect because you realize you weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Every failure was training. Every scar was instruction. Every delay was protection. And now, you're ready. You're not who you used to be. You don't move like you used to move. You don't break like you used to break. Because now you've become something unrecognizable, something unbreakable. You've earned your scars. You've faced your demons. You've outlasted your fears. You've evolved. From weak to warrior. From nobody to legend. And that transformation, that silent, brutal evolution, is what greatness truly looks like. Because real warriors don't chase fame. They chase mastery. They don't seek comfort. They seek challenge. They don't live to be liked, as they live to be remembered. When your time comes, when your body is old, your hands are scarred, your heart heavy from all the wars you've fought, you won't regret the pain. You won't regret the struggle. You'll look back and smile. Every great transformation demands a sacrifice. You can't hold on to your comfort and expect to rise. You can't keep your excuses and expect to evolve. The truth is, growth hurts. Because it asks you to let go of everything that once made you feel safe. There will come a time when you'll have to walk away from people who don't see what you see. When you'll have to spend nights alone while everyone else sleeps in comfort. When you'll have to say no to distractions that used to feel like happiness. That's the price of becoming more. You trade your comfort for clarity. You trade your ease for excellence. And slowly, the sacrifices start to make sense. You start realizing that every time you give something up, you gain something greater. You gain focus. You gain strength. You gain control over your own destiny. Most people will never reach that level because they're too afraid to lose what's temporary. But warriors know the truth. To become legendary, you must be willing to lose everything that isn't real. Sacrifice is the silent language of the strong. It's the currency of greatness. And every time you choose discipline over desire, you write your name a little deeper into the book of immortals. Before every rise, there is a storm. A chaos so violent, it makes you question everything you stand for. You'll feel the world collapsing around you. Plans will fail. People will betray you. Dreams will seem impossible. That's the storm, and it comes for everyone who dares to change. You'll start doubting yourself, thinking, maybe I'm not built for this. But that's exactly what the storm is meant to do. To strip away everything weak inside you. To test your foundation. To see if you truly deserve the life you're chasing. The storm isn't there to destroy you. It's there to shape you. It's there to mold your spirit into steel. Because after every storm, there's a version of you that never existed before. A stronger, wiser, sharper version. A version that's immune to failure. So when everything feels like it's falling apart, don't run, don't panic, don't break. Stand tall. Face it. Because when the storm ends, and it will, the world will witness a different you. Not the same person who entered the fire, but the warrior who walked out carrying thunder in his veins. Everyone admires the warrior who wins. But no one talks about the hours behind the victory. The hours spent in silence when no one's cheering. When there's no music, no motivation, no energy. Just you and your mission. It's in those unseen hours that legends are born. While others sleep, you sharpen your sword. While others doubt, you build your foundation. While others talk, you work. No one will post about your struggle. No one will clap for your consistency. But one day, they'll see the result, and they'll call it talent. They'll call it luck. They'll never understand the sacrifices made in the dark. Because discipline is invisible. It doesn't show up in likes, or comments, or validation. It shows up in your results. It shows up in your calmness under pressure. It shows up when you refuse to quit again and again. Those unseen hours are your battlefield. Every rep, every page, every lonely night. That's where you earn the right to rise. And when the time comes, when the light finally hits you, you'll know one truth. You didn't just survive the darkness, you mastered it. Because you'll know you were never meant to live easy. You were meant to evolve. You were born weak, but you refused to stay that way. You took every hit, every loss, every defeat, and turned it into power. You didn't die as the same person you were born as. You died a legend. That's the warrior's evolution. That's the path most people fear, but the only path worth walking. So keep walking, keep fighting, keep evolving. Because one day, the world will speak your name, not with pity, but with respect. They'll say, that one was different. That one was built from pain, forged in fire, and made of something this world could never break. And in that moment, you'll finally understand that the weak version of you was never a curse. It was the beginning. The first chapter of a story that ends with greatness. And when your story ends, your spirit won't. Because legends don't die, they echo. Every life you touched, every soul you inspired, every heart that refused to quit after hearing your story. That's your immortality. The weak version of you created a ripple that will never fade. Your scars became lessons. Your journey became a map for others lost in the dark. And maybe one day, someone will stand where you once stood, broken, afraid, uncertain, and they'll whisper your name, not as a memory, but as a standard. Because that's what happens when a warrior evolves. You start as one, but you leave as many. Born weak, lived strong,